So today's discussion is going to be about stop taking all those people's energy and start aligning yourself. So I'm going to talk about taking all those people's energy and I'm going to talk about protection. And when I talk about protection, I'm going to be sharing a completely different perspective, something that I have learned and it just resonate with me. So, if you are here, most likely you are an empath. Most likely you are a sensitive. I have the tendency to attract empath and sensitive. The reason why is because I am an empath and I set the intention to attract you guys so I can empower you with the tools, with the healing, with what you need so it can help you shift your energy, your perspective, and feel healthy and be happy. That is my intention. So, if you are new to me, I am Carol Soto. I am a healer, I am a spiritual teacher. And as I mentioned, I started my journey with being a disempowered empath. And I became empowered by learning the tools, by healing. So, I am you. I was burned out. I was having migraine every single day. And the I know how it feels. I know how it is. So I want to start this conversation to start with the problem. It is not your sensitivity. You being an empath and a high sensitive soul human being, it's not the problem. One of the problem is taking others people's energy. I'm going to say that one more time. One of the real problem it is that you are taking, observing, receiving other people's energy. You're taking other people's emotions, other people's moods, other people's expectations, every people chaotic energy. And this is not just people. This is also the environment and this is also the collective energy. There is always a why you're taking others people's energy. But here's what happened. Your nervous system treats that energy as its own and it tries to manage that energy. That's just your nervous system. In reality, you cannot manage other people's energy. And today I'm not going to talk about that. That was last Wednesday live. If you missed it and you would like the link, just say link and I will send you that or will tag you in that video. Last week we talked about the clearing that energy that is not yours. Today I want to talk more about taking other people's energy and how to protect yourself. So, your body doesn't know how to recognize it, but your nervous system, it is recognizing it and it's trying to manage it. But why do we take other people's energy? There's a lot of reasons from it. But one of the reasons is because you are accepting others people's energy. You are allowing others people's energy. And the why you're accepting it and you're allowing it, it can be different reasons. So one of that reasons can be that you want to be accepted, right? So, because you want to be accepted, you are now open to accept them with their energy. Or you see them, you feel them, you know that they are in pain. And unconsciously, you want to help them not be in that pain. You want to help them not feel the way they are feeling. So you have this belief that maybe if you take that energy from them, they will feel better. I remember my own child telling me this. I was like, Luis Alejandro, this is not your energy. Can you please send it back to me? And he goes like, but mommy, I want you to be happy. I want you to not feel that energy. So I'm trying to help you. And I was like, well, that's beautiful and that's really noble of yourself, but it's not your responsibility to take all those people's energy. It is not your responsibility for not for them not to feel the pain or to feel that what they need to feel. Because part of having this human experience, it is all about feeling the feelings, having experience that they can be positive or they can be negative, but there is a learning from it. There's a growth from it. There is an experience for them. And that is part of the human experience. Now, what we have the tendency to do is trap those emotions, trap those energy, trap them in our bodies. And then what is happening is we are not feeling good. We are creating illness and we are exhausted. We are overstimulated. And the list can go on and on and on and on. So this is the reason why we take all those people's energy, some of them, because the why can be different from individual to individual. But at the end of the day, it goes back to number one, fear. And that can be a different fears in there. Fears to be rejected, fear to be abandoned, fear of the unknown, right? And there's a lot of fears behind it. And then we create protective mechanism that help us, but at the end of the day, it does not help us because it closes our heart. It builds this guard, right? That then it blocks us from all the different things. So that's the why we take other people's energy. Now I want to talk about protecting your energy. So why we protect our energy? So we protect our energy because in the spiritual world, because the environment and the polarity in the earth that we live, there is negative things. And this can be in negative energy, negative emotions. This can be thought forms. This can be entities. This can be earthbounds. This can be dark forces, right? Not everything is love and light, but we protect our energy so we can have a protecting mechanism as we react with other human beings as we are out and about in this earth or even in the astral plane. We have that protecting barrier. Now, I want you to reflect and think on when you hear the word protecting, when you hear the word protect, does it come from a place of love or does it come from a place of fear? The majority of the time, it's tied or connected with fear. We put fences because we are protecting ourselves from theft or people trying to be in our space. right? So it is coming from a place of fear. We need to reshift all that. Protecting shouldn't come from a place of fear because what's happening is you put in a bubble and protection, and all the fears and all that negative energy, I like to use it unuseful energy, it's now in this bubble that you have placed on you and it haven't moved. So let's start shifting the why we are protecting and coming from a place of love versus a place of fear. I fear all these people's energy, or I fear the unknown in the spiritual world. I fear them. I'm going to attract entities. Let's start letting go of that fear and start protecting more as a I am not shutting down, I'm not building a wall. What it means is I am here having a human experience, but I'm not accepting others people's energy. I'm not accepting anyone to come into my energy field. In coming from a place of I am whole, I am complete, and I am a sovereign being. Does that make sense? So here is a kind of a shift that you can do, right? So instead of saying, I need to protect my energy, maybe let's shift it. I choose to be protected and I am welcome, love, support, because this supports me. I'm aligning myself to my sovereignty. This is not about fear. This is more about empowerment. This is more about protecting your energy from an alignment perspective, from a whole perspective, from a love perspective. As an empath, you got to master grounding, clearing, and protecting your energy because we're not fully healed. There is opening in our aura, in our chakras. We leak energies, right? So that gives a weak point for things to come in. This is other people's energy, this is entities, this is earthbound, you name it. Because the spirituality is not all love and light. Let's be really honest about this. There's a lot of thought forms that we can take, and there's entities, and this is coming from a place of love, not a place of fear. This is coming from a place of you being aware that in a spiritual world, not everything is love and light. Now, if you need help with all this in the healing journey program, the first weeks, this is what we spend time with. We spend time on you mastering how to ground, how to clear, how to protect yourself. It comes with a tool that makes this process easy. And then the rest of the week, we are going to be heal those core wounds that we are carrying that create those holes, those habits, that creates that people pleasing, that creates the lack of boundaries, that creates all the pitfalls that we live in as an empath. Let's transform all that so we can live a life where we feel healthy, when we feel happy, where we feel in alignment. Because it is possible. But the work needs to be done. And that is all I have for today. Sharing all this with a lot of love, with a lot of compassion. And if this resonates, reach out with so much love. Bye for now.